तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः. The discussion was going on sin. Thakur is speaking to Mahendra Goswami. Goswami smiling. Shiva and Parvati are our father and mother. Sri Ramakrishna, out of his stock of a dozen of English words, said sweetly, "Thank you." Then he added, "Yes, father and mother." Goswami, besides it is sin to criticize anyone, especially a devotee of God. All sins may be forgiven, but not the sin of criticizing a devotee. Master to that comment. Master says, but this idea of sin does not by any means affect all people. For instance, the Ishwar Kotis, such as the incarnation of God, are above sin. Sri Chaitanya is an example. Now, Ishwar Kotis are those who after enlightenment are selected and kept for coming down to this earth to help the incarnations of God. They are like prophets who come on the bidding of the Lord when He happens to descend to the world. So they are called Ishvara Kotis. Nitya Siddhas, like Narada, they are eternally free. They are not bound in nature by any means because their awareness of being the Absolute One, one with the Absolute, one with the Lord of the universe, Ishvara, is ever bright and cannot be tarnished. They are called Nitya Siddhas. We may get an understanding or a glimpse of the truth, and we may feel that I know God. We had, suppose, a glimpse, but that get tarnished when one of the inner samskaras come and overpower this knowledge of the glimpse and take me into the custody of keeping back in the prison house of this nature. So, the knowledge of those which by no means can get tarnished. Now, suppose there is an iron pot, the iron is going to rust. But suppose by some means we are able to convert it into gold, even brass or copper gets tarnished. It's metal. It's better than iron. But when we come to gold, the gold never gets tarnished. So it is something like that. These souls who are enlightened, not having a glimpse or a partial understanding of God or one or two experiences or visions, but intimately related to God, and they are able to look at the world as clearly as reality, as the one with the absolute. See the difference between the Vedic truths and all other our present scientific truths and all that of the external world. Science, the whole science and technology, we have advanced so much, and each human is in one way, they are wondering at it, and they are proud of their achievements in the field of science and technology. But the knowledge is of a constantly changing flux. Everything is disappearing. Whatever we knew, whatever we could get, is just disappearing. The knowledge of the disappearing, knowledge of every moment changing, and at cosmic level, huge changes in millions of years take place in such a way that the relationship with the past and present gets lost. Once, suppose, the whole region is flooded with water and retreats back, the whole civilization, everything disappears. But somehow each species reappears on this earth. And there is no link. Suppose human civilization has ended and new civilization has begun, because everything is going in a cyclic order. We will not have the link with the previous civilization, how they lived, what all were their achievements. Nothing is known. What type of life did they live? What type of technology and science did they have, which we do not know? Now we are playing only with electricity and magnetism, and utilizing other forces like nuclear power and all that. But apart from this, are there any other things which they used to observe and perceive? We need that. There is no link at all. What will be future after this civilization ends totally, like flood carrying away everything, and a new stone age, and again the suppose begins. It's going to, just like a tree dies and another tree comes up through a seed. The involution and evolution process of Stone Age to highly evolved, highly intellectual stage and back to Stone Age goes on and on. Millions and millions of years have passed, and this cycle is continuing. The unchanging eternal reality is there, the transcendental. The whole universe is time and space bound. Timeless, spaceless existence is there, in which millions of universes are appearing. It is infinite. This is infinite, eternal, unchanging reality. And so when there is no duality, it is ocean of bliss, ananda. It is in itself, it is purna. It doesn't lack anything. When duality is there is taratamya, taratama, the degree of comparison, there is relativity. But when we come to the absolute, there is no relativity, there is no duality, There is no degree of comparison. Good, better, best. These comparisons are not there. So it is one existence, complete in itself, Purna. When Purnatva is there, there is absolute bliss, absolute peace, and absolute love. This is the whole picture. And of that knowledge is unchanging. Of the unchanging, and knowledge is also unchanging. That, when you know that, you know everything. You know, when you know water, it's all aspects of manifestation you can understand. Water as steam you can understand. Water as water you can understand. Water as ice you can understand. Water as snow, as mist, and as fog. Everything you can understand. There are different manifestations of water. Then finally H2O. How many varieties you see? Just one water. H2O. And there is fog, mist, steam, water, ice, so many varieties. These are phases, manifestations. Once you know water, you know all things. There are different aspects of. So once you know Brahman, you know the whole universe. Universe is manifestation. Just like water has become some ice pieces because of the cold in ocean. Huge ocean. Here and there some ice have formed. It doesn't mean you know everything. You know water, you know ice also. Like that, you know, but you know ice, you may not know water. Because one belongs to the other. The waves belong to ocean, and ocean doesn't belong to waves. Whether waves are there or not, ocean is ocean. So this concept that if you know one, you know everything. Everything means this whole universe. Universe is just a speck compared to the infinite, unchanging, eternal reality. This is constantly changing and bound within the framework of time and space. Time is there, space is there. Within this small universe. And where is that absolute existence? If you know that, you know this. If you know this, yet whole universe you may analyze scientifically, this, that, everything, you will never know the transcendental. If you know the transcendental, you know the whole of this. Kasmin jnate sarvamidam jnatam bhavati. That was the question in the Upanishads. Oh Lord, what if I know everything? Then comes the knowledge of Brahman. So Vedas are those that are presenting that absolute truth which science and technology cannot give you. These are pertaining to senses and mind. Senses and mind are so restricted, so small. It cannot per se understand what is infinite, what is eternal. And the whole picture, the science is teaching, has analyzed from atomic sizes, from atom to the huge universe itself. Our galaxies is just nothing compared to that. And this analysis is limited to mind and senses. What am I in sleep? I do not know. Because neither mind is there nor senses. In deep sleep, I am there, but I don't know what it is. I am there in deep sleep. Now this identity, this, and then what the object is by itself. The whole science is with reference to me. The observer is the most important part. When observer is limited, the observed is limited. Who is the observer? With what reference? Because it is time and space bound. Present and practical region. First thing, limitation is the observer himself. Observer has small eyes, small ears, small five senses, and mind. With that he is observing the universe, world. He cannot know the beyond. Because this, what is smallest, senses cannot perceive. What is subliminal can never be known. What is beyond, higher levels of... Now, eyes can see particular range of wavelength, violet to infrared, not beyond that. Sound can be heard, but it cannot go supersonic sounds and infrasonic sound. It cannot perceive, ear cannot perceive. What a vast range and a small range we can perceive through ears, senses, smell. All these senses are limited. With that, we are analyzing the objective world. So first limitation on the perceivable objective world is who is observer. The whole analysis is dependent on the observer. What is his opinion as if of this world? And utility, how does he utilize? You see the forest the forest fire in US. Nothing, with all our scientific knowledge and this one, we are not able to do anything. Just watch and try to save a few lives. Now, before in front of nature, and that is the vastness of nature. So here, if you go and see that knowledge of the Brahman, the whole knowledge of the universes, multifarious universes, millions of universes, all aspects of knowledge, creation, Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara, the individual soul, the cosmos and the beyond. All the three knowledge, the ultimate is given. So that knowledge, the Brahmajnana and this world, the world knowledge and Vedas are giving that knowledge, by knowing which you know everything. And you know how to transcend the nature and go beyond into the eternal life. And you are the master of your own being. You can tear off all the bondages, you can tear off all attachments and transcend the nature and go beyond if you know what that is. So we see the Vedas contain, now where is the sin, where is the virtue? When you go beyond human existence, sin and everything is there within only for man in his limited understanding. Anything, any sin or virtue can stain only your body and mind beyond his infinite eternal being. There is no way which can stain it or color it. whole reality. Suppose a dog bites a human, it will not acquire karma at all. So many things. Sin applies only to man and the way in which he works and behaves. Suppose that man has the knowledge of the reality, then it cannot bite. He knows he is not body. He is just covering with it. He doesn't identify with it. And ego is not there. But the idea of sin, Sri Ramakrishna says, the idea of sin does not by any means affect all. For instance, the Ishvara Kotis, such as incarnations of God, are above sin. Sri Chaitanya is an example, who is always mad with God, intoxicated in God awareness, whether his normal consciousness is eating or in divine consciousness is dancing, or in the awareness of the Absolute he is in Samadhi. At all times he is inseparable from the divine Absolute, the divine Supreme. And because of being one with the reality, nothing can stain it. So is the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. A child walking on the Sri Ramakrishna gives little more expansive way, understanding. I am there myself, the sin and virtue. If there is a person who can guide my life, guide the thoughts, guide the feelings, keeping in close arm length to protect, then nothing can happen. Not only the effects of sin also cannot touch you. A child walking on a narrow ridge and holding on to his father may slip into the ditch. Child walking on the narrow, holding to his father. Father is walking, he is also walking, he is holding the father's hand or clothes and walking with him. But he can fall. But that can never happen if the father holds the child by the hand. If father holds the child will never fall. Listen. I pray to the Divine Mother for pure love. I said to her, here is their righteousness, here is their unrighteousness, dharma, adharma. Take them both and give me pure love for thee. Here is thy purity, here is thy impurity. Take them both and give me pure love for thee. O Mother, here is thy virtue, and here is thy vice. Take them both and give me pure love for thee. Now the offering. Both. If you accept one, you have to accept the other. Inevitably, because they are obverse and reverse of the same coin. From one side is looking head, another is looking tail. But it belongs to one reality. And perceiver is also one. The mind is perceiving and observer is one. Object is one. Same thing is being. The mind is experiencing the good and bad and experiences its consequences also, good and bad. Sin and virtue, its effects, suffering and joy. Both are experienced. Suffering is also experienced by mind, and the same mind is experiencing the joys also. When the two are same identity it is experience only. Pain is also an experience of mind. Joy is also experience. Suffering also experience. Mana, apamana, sukha, dukkha, cold and heat. All the dualities are experienced by the same mind. Because of the inner samskaras, we differentiate and reject and hold on to. But when wisdom dawns, he goes to a higher level where they are same. He comes to a level where they are same. So, if you accept one, you have to accept the other. If you reject one, you will reject the other also. Rejection comes when you see both are equal. And I am standing on a platform which is independent of that. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.